Devils in the detail. Former Everton and Latics chief reveals his plans to take the Red Devils' selection of outstanding individuals to collective glory at Russia 2018. 6th October 2017, 11:02 p.m. Updated 7th October 2017, 12:30 am. Roberto Martinez is daring to dream. This is the man who led lowly Wigan to one of the most unlikely FA Cup triumphs of all time. Roberto Martinez is dreaming of lifting the ultimate prize, the World Cup, 4 years after winning the FA Cup with Wigan. Assistant boss Thierry Henry and manager Roberto Martinez hope to turn a hugely talented Belgium squad into World Cup winners now. 4 years on, Martinez is fantasizing about what would be another famous first, winning the World Cup with Belgium. The Spaniard insists his star-studded Red Devils, who are ranked number 5 in the world and have already qualified for Russia, should not be considered one of the favourites next summer. But, sitting on a sofa in the hotel reception at Belgium's training centre in Tubize, 15 miles south of Brussels, he smiled. You always need to start with a dream. How you are going to get there is about being realistic on a day-to-day basis, but you need to have a vision. When I was at Swansea, the vision was to try and get into the second tier for the first time in over 20 years. At Wigan, we had been staying up in the Premier League, but we wanted to do something remarkable and we won the FA Cup and got into Europe. Belgium are poised to be the first European nation aside from hosts Russia to qualify for the World Cup finals next year. Roberto Martinez is now handling players he used to face in the Prem as well as former Everton hero Romelu Lukaku. You always need to have that dream, otherwise why be involved in football? Few would have backed Martinez, 44, to be in a position to even dream about winning football's holy grail after he was sacked by Everton 15 months ago. Probably even fewer would have thought this possible 10 years ago, given that, on this very weekend, he was managing Swansea away at Leyton Orient in League One. Belgium face Bosnia and Cyprus in their final 2 World Cup qualifiers. Roberto Martinez discussed his World Cup dream with Sunman David Coverdale. Wow, 10 years ago. It still feels very fresh, said Martinez when reminded about where he was on October 6, 2007, when his side won 50. But from Brisbane Road to Brussels, Martinez now finds himself bossing a team which reads like a fantasy football 11. And when describing the talent at his disposal, which includes Romelu Lukaku, Eden Hazard and Kevin De Bruyne, he volunteers a phrase that once hung like a millstone round England's neck. Martinez, who is unbeaten in 11 Belgium games since losing to Spain in his first match, admitted everyone knows it is a golden generation. It is an exciting group. Roberto on Lukaku. I have seen a difference in the maturity of Romelu since his move to Manchester United. He is still a very young player, but he has coped easily with the expectations and whatever Man United put on him. I can see he is really enjoying being in a team where there is very little margin for error. He is one of those players that sets himself little targets and you can see he's on track. For us, it's important that we see that continue over a 10-month competition. Roberto on De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne is just such a thinker. You get footballers that have got really good execution of what they do, and others that are very good thinkers. He has got both. If you analyze his performances, you will find it very, very difficult to find a better midfielder in European football. He has a really good chemistry with Pep Guardiola. I think they have a very good understanding. When you look at Man City's fixtures, the first thing that comes into my mind is, Kevin will be influential in that, and that's an elite category. Roberto on his number 2. Henry. Thierry knows how to win at international level. When we were talking about where we want to get to, Thierry was in exactly the same position with the French team, a golden generation that had never won a major tournament. So it is very important for someone like him to bring all his experience and pass it on to the players. He's very, very impressive, his attention to detail and his passion for football. I see him as a future manager. That is the natural path. I am managing players that used to make me suffer when I was at Wigan and Everton. I don't know if you'd call us one of the favourites. I think people will see other nations that have won the tournament before as favourites, because the mental side in big tournaments is huge. And while we know we can be a very good, stylish team, we need to develop a winning mentality, to find a way to win when we face adversity. But of course, we are a group that will have to cope with high expectations, especially with the fans here in Belgium. So there is pressure, but that is the attraction of the project as well. Chelsea playmaker Eden Hazard is just one of the superstars in Belgium's squad. I felt that for me to be involved in international football at this stage of my career, it had to be a very special project, and clearly, with this group of players, it is. So how have Belgium, whose best World Cup finish was a semi-final 31 years ago and whose population is 5 times smaller than England's, managed to produce such Alice stars? Martinez has had time to study this since he replaced Mark Wilmots last August, and he starts answering the question before it is finished. Record Man United by Romelu Lukaku is one of several Belgium stars to have commanded huge transfer fees. He said, "I was really intrigued about this. First, players are very culturally aware. They all speak 2 or 3 languages, if not more. So, when they go abroad, very rarely do they find it difficult to settle in the dressing room. The other thing is the standard of the coaching program through schools all the way to the clubs in the Pro League. And here in Belgium, at 18 or 19, you are given the opportunity to play in the first team of the big clubs in a competitive league." Belgium stars Romelu Lukaku, Jan Vertonghen and Toby Alderweireld design the national team mascot. Roberto Martinez tells David Coverdale where his Belgium side need to improve in the British game. "When you are over the age of 18, you sometimes have to rely on a loan to get the experience of playing in a men's environment." Martinez, a student of the game, is in his element talking about this. Looking relaxed and refreshed, he has settled with his family in Waterloo, a half-hour drive from Tubize, and has quickly got to grips with all things Belgian football. Other trivia, however, took longer, as he found to his cost when, on national TV, he was not able to name Belgium's king. Martinez laughed, "I know his name now, Philippe. He'll never forget it." Man City flyer Kevin De Bruyne offers Belgium exciting attacking options. "It's important for me to understand the nation. To understand the player, you need to understand their background. I have more time on my hands now, and that aspect is difficult to cope with. The contact with the players compared to club football is the hardest bit. But it has allowed me to get to the root of where these players come from. I want to breathe at Belgian football culture and be part of making sure there is a follow-up strategy to this golden generation." Eden Hazard shows off his boxing skills as he trains for Belgium's World Cup qualifiers. Martinez, then, has clearly moved on from his time at Goodison Park. He finished 5th in his first campaign on Merseyside but was axed with a game to go in 201,516, when Everton finished 11th, although they did reach the semi-finals of both domestic cups. Martinez, who managed 265 consecutive Prem games, a record for a Spanish coach, added, "I had a fantastic time at Everton and I will never forget those memories. We achieved the biggest number of points in the club's Premier League history, and had a really good run in the Europa League. But the one thing I've done is almost detach myself from that." Indeed, Martinez is all-consumed with doing his best with Belgium, who were the first European side, other than their hosts, to seal their World Cup spot. The Red Devils can guarantee they will be in pot 1 in December's draw by taking 4 points from the last 2 qualifiers, tonight in Bosnia and at home to Cyprus on Tuesday. And then all roads lead to Russia, where Martinez will be looking to make his dream come true. Keep up to date with all the transfer news and gossip on our blog. Winning Euro Millions numbers for Friday, October the 6th, 2017. £169 million jackpot. Emma Dale's Emma Barton dies, but viewers think her son Ross murdered her dad, who lost both arms when zapped by 33,000 volts. Slams boss England U21's boss Adi Boothroyd reveals reasons for axing Patrick Roberts. Martinez eyes Belgium World Cup miracle, like he did with Wigan Bosnia vs Belgium. Kickoff time. TV channel. Live stream and team news. Fans boo Piqué after Barcelona aces quit. Threat over Catalonia violence. Cisco stars as Julen Lopetegui side clinch World Cup place.